and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Friday the 20th of June, Royal Ascot Day 4. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. I am battered and bruised. We were very close. Sky Bet users, and we'll get onto that, but Sky Bet users got the profit line. We were ahead away from Northern Express getting 6th, not 7th, and that would have taken us to a few quid profit. That would have been a much nicer place to be, because then I'd be talking about we were down 25 this week, whereas I were down about 52, 53 pounds in 3 days. So profit and loss has taken an absolute hammering this week. 2 days. Let's see if I can pull it out the fire in 2 days, folks. But yeah, we the main two were in the right ballpark. I mean, the whole bet was not too bad, probably with the exception of Coltrane. We'll come to that. But yeah, so we'll do the full review and then we'll get into Friday's bet. 2 bets, lower a stake than the last 2 days, £16.50. The main bet is £12. It is 5 horses, 4 races, 2 of those at Ascot, 1 at Redcar, including a forecast, and a horse at Newmarket. And then we didn't do a bonus bet on Thursday, have got a bonus bet Friday. We just got a 4 horse high price at Lucky 15. None of them are starred. That's the bonus bet. So £16.50 is the outlay. The review of Thursday. Outran its odds, just wasn't quite good enough on the day. It was 7th, so no joy there. Pantar Warrior, nice place, 40s was the SP. Coltrane, I said it was 3rd to 5th. I think it was 5th, distant 5th, but it was 5th, so the lower end. And then Northern Express, as talked about, was 7th. Those big field handicaps, I say the big field handicaps, specifically the 7 furlong and 1 mile handicap cavalry charges. We've had 4 this week, and on Thursday, if you didn't particularly clock it, right, so in the 6, 10 and was it the 5 o'clock? I think that's right, 6, 10 and 5, well, whatever they were, 5 o'clock, yeah, the Britannia handicap. Yeah, if you'd blindly backed the outside 5 draws in a combination tricast, which would be 60 combinations, you'd have got it up for 300-400 quid in that 5 o'clock. If you had blindly backed the outside 5 stalls in the 6-10 for combination tricast, you would have got another 300-400 quid. Was it the day before the Royal Hunt Cup? That was won by the horse drawn in 32. Horse drawn 30 was 4th, but they were split across the track a little bit more on Wednesday. And the other one on that day, the high draw numbers and middle draw numbers were dominating. So it certainly looks, if you were betting on the Sandringham, we have got one in our bonus bet for Friday, high absolute dominate. What's frustrating I find about stuff like that is when you literally got 2 races over a similar distance on the same course and the same thing happens, that the high numbers absolutely dominate, it just really takes the fun out of it, because it makes you feel like the best horse isn't winning, or the best horses aren't framing, the ones who happen to be in a certain position on the track are, and that just, it don't feel quite right. So it's like, you know, I suppose it's like when you well, no, it is. And I was going to say it's a bit like when your horse wins because another horse falls. It's not quite like that, because that's part of the gig. But the track bias it's frustrating, because it's sort of the whole puzzle of trying to solve it. Sort of just goes, well, just back the outside draws, isn't it? That's all you do. And anyway, this was absolute crud, wasn't it? Not good enough, terrible, fluff the start, not good enough, nothing back there. So we had 380 back, 22.50 on. As I said, I think we're 52.80, something like that down. So what we're doing for Friday, we're trying again with the same thing that we always do. The difference is I've switched the hat and I've got the different notepad out. All right, that's what we've done. We've tried to change our luck up here. Different app, different notepad. What does that mean? We've got, here's the main bet for the day: 3:23 Redcar, 6-runner handicap. I like this race, and I like it for a forecast play, so that's what we're doing. Just realised I made a clanger on the sheet. Right. Well, I'll get to that. So 3:23 Rhythm Master 9-1, Cruyff Turn 12-1. What do I think? So the way I've read the race is I think Cruyff Turn will take them out at a decent enough clip, and I'm expecting Cruyff Turn to be leading, vying for lead, but leading is what I think. And then Rhythm Master will be one of the ones out the back, probably like with, is it Waffley, something like that. The shorty favourite, I think, might be tucked in behind Cruyff Turn. Getting towards the business end, the hope is Cruyff Turn can keep the momentum of being on the front end, and that Rhythm Master is the closer, and that the shorty favourite gets a little bit outpaced over 1 mile, and that Rhythm Master passes it, and these two come front two. That's the plan, right? It's easy, isn't it, when I explain how the race is going to run? Let's see if we can do it. So they're in. 3:40 Ascot, stress-free. It's not been this week, has it? Come on. It's a really progressive horse. And yeah, I think there's still more progression to come from it. Style-wise for the race, I think might suit the style of the horses running coming from the back might suit this race. 4:20 Ascot Flight. I'm going to forgive last time and go back to the time before then. It definitely looked like it was on the upgrade in a classy horse, and it best run has been on fast ground. O.C. Murphy is still sticking with it. He's been riding well this week. So let's see if we can get Flight in the top 3 at a nice enough price. Whether or not, you'd think, is that going to be good enough to beat Zaragana, the French horse? I don't know, but the question mark there is about that fast ground, I think. And then we're finishing off the 5:57 at Newmarket, Mystical Guest, channel favourite, 15-2. Looks like it's going to go off a lot shorter than that, I think, but scrape that in from it. We'll hopefully can get 15-2. We'll see what the price is when the video's uploaded. 2 times 15p each way Yankees, 1 Yankee Rhythm Master with those 3, the other one Cruyff Turn with those 3. So 2 separate 15p each way Yankees, that's 660. I have written on here, in error, £1 reverse forecast. I meant to write 50p reverse forecast. That is what that is. If it adds up to £12, 660, that makes it 760, and then we've got 440 on there, so it's £12. It's 50p reverse forecast. So if it comes in, I'm not claiming a pound reverse, I'm claiming 50p reverse forecast on those 2 Redcar ones. Yeah, we haven't played that many. Penultimate one, I think it was the one that come up in Windsor, so we'll see how we go. We're certainly not, we're due a nice win, we're not necessarily due a forecast, that is what I would tell you. 3 times 50p each way singles, Cruyff Turn stress free of Flight, and then 2 70p win singles, Rhythm Master, Mystical Guest, Sky the best bookmaker for extra places. Everybody else is pretty much of a muchness, but you guys know by now this sort of meeting, you don't want to be playing with Hills and Labrocks and 888. Generally speaking, they are scrimping on the place terms. So anyone else kind of pretty much, but Sky are best. And there was a few comments about Sky and people sort of saying that it's very easy to get restricted with Sky. Yes, there'll be plenty of people who follow this channel who are restricted. Originally, when I set this way up way back when, I did it opening a Sky Bet account, and everything was placed in a specific Sky Bet account. And we got on till, I think it was we started in January. I think we got to the October before the account got restricted, and then it took a lot less than that for another Sky Bet account to get restricted for the channel. And that's the point where I kind of changed tack for the channel, because the original point was, what I wasn't seeing is actually people who were having opening a betting account to use for the specific channel bet. So that's what I was trying to do, that people could literally follow along because I was using a specific betting account that was brand new. So there'll always be people that have got restrictions on different betting accounts, and that's why I'll always give you the best bookie advice. That's why I don't claim standout place terms and standout prices, because I know there are people who have to shop around. So as much as I'm saying Sky the best bookmaker for place terms, because they are, I also am aware there'll be lots of folk restricted. Not everybody. There was a couple of people in the comments today that said they did win. All right. Bonus bet. Let's just spin through these. 340 Ascot, HMS President. I think you'd have picked me for picking that one, wouldn't you? My sort of horse. Been running over the jumps really, but it has got really credible form at Ascot on good ground, like we're going to have. So it was worth putting in, even though he's slightly aging. 5 o'clock Ascot. Amanjani, 33-1. On jockey bookings, it's not the number one pick of Joseph O'Brien's, because Dylan Brown McMahon, struggle to say that, is on the other one, which name escapes me, but it's drawn very low. This is drawn in a high draw, and yeah, I like the look of it in terms of some of the form lines. I thought the price was particularly good, particularly is because we've got a high draw on it as well. So that's in 5:35 Ascot Green Storm. It's definitely got form to say that horse could get involved in the place terms, but it needs to be on a going day. It runs a little inconsistent at 25-1. And then we're finishing off in the 5 furlong cavalry charge, 6:10 Ascot Brose, 18-1. Paul Atwater seems to have done some absolute magic with that horse compared to what it was doing before. And yeah, it look again. It's another one, a bit like Stress Free. It looks progressive. It's just going on an upward trajectory. So I think it's worth putting in. So it's a straightforward 15p each way, lucky 15, £4.50 is the bet. I think on every single one of those races, Sky Bet will give you an extra place. Everybody else, much of a muchness, probably not. Ladbrokes, Hills, 888. All right, not starred, and that's another point. Okay, that's it. That's the play for Friday. I will be back Friday night for our last Ascot. I haven't looked at Sunday yet to see whether or not I would be likely to play anything on Sunday anyway. Saturday's usually a better day for playing for Ascot, things like the Wokingham. I like the Wokingham. It's a 6 furlong cavalry charge. It won't be everyone's cup of tea. See what the draw does for that one. All right, that is me. I hope you're doing all right, despite the fact that the channel's tanking this week. And let's see if we can work some magic with a different notepad. That is me. Thank you very much. Bye bye.